Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be taking this 2022 Hyundai Santa Fe plug-in hybrid on a POV test drive, and this one is the SEL Convenience. There are two trims you could choose from. You could choose this one or the limited trim, but let's go ahead and take this SEL Convenience on a test drive and see how it does. And just like that, this Santa Fe is on, and you're not going to hear anything because it is a plug-in hybrid. And yeah, seriously guys, this Santa Fe is nice and quiet, and it is nice and spacious, and overall I really like the design of the Santa Fe. But let's go ahead and take it on a test drive and see how this Santa Fe plug-in hybrid does. By the way, here is the backup camera. And this SUV does make some noises. Those noises, you hear them when you put the SUV in reverse. The beeping was because of the plate. Because of the plate, it is touching the sensor. Alright, so driving this Santa Fe, it is nice and quiet in here, and since it is a hybrid, the engine is not going to come on unless you actually hit the gas pedal hard. And when you do that, the electric motor and the gas engine come on to give you all the power you want. We're gonna go ahead and take this Santa Fe on the highway and see how it does. It is in sport mode now. Steering wheel gets nice and heavy, and it is responsive. And the engine kicked in because I did push the gas pedal all the way to the ground. But yeah, definitely this thing drives nice, smooth. Steering wheel is nice and heavy, and the Santa Fe does a great job around corners. So under the hood, there is a 1.6 turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. It is connected to a 6-speed automatic transmission, and of course it does have an electric motor and batteries. It does have 13.8 kilowatt-hour battery, and the electric motor and the gas engines, they're nice and responsive. And this Santa Fe does produce 261 horsepower and 224 pound-feet of torque, and it is nice and responsive since it is a hybrid, so the torque is instant, and it's a very nice and powerful Santa Fe. The suspension setup on this Santa Fe is very good, and I think this is my favorite Hyundai SUV because the way how it handles and the way how it rides, it's nice and comfortable, and you could push this Santa Fe around corners with no issues. So yeah, I think this Santa Fe is my favorite. And since this is of course a plug-in hybrid, you could charge it. So let's say if you want to only drive this Santa Fe on EV mode, you could charge it and it will give you 31 miles. There is an EV button right here, and basically what does this EV button do is it will make this Santa Fe drive on electric mode only, and it's very nice and convenient. Let's say if your commute is about 15 miles away from home, then you don't even have to use the gas engine at all, or you don't even have to fill it up at all. You could just charge this Santa Fe at night, and it will give you 31 miles. And it does take 3 hours and a half to fully charge to give you that 31 miles. And that's on a 240 volt outlet. But yeah guys, I'm seriously impressed. 260 horsepower and 224 pound-feet of torque. I honestly couldn't really find the torque numbers on this Santa Fe. I had to look it up on other websites, and it did say that it does have 304 Newton meter, and that's basically equivalent to 224 pound-feet of torque. But yeah, seriously, this thing rides good. It does have all the nice safety features, and it is a nice, powerful Santa Fe. It does have the steering assist, lane keep assist, emergency braking, adaptive cruise control. So let's go ahead and turn on the adaptive cruise control. It is currently on with the steering assist, and the gauges are, or the gauge is basically an LCD screen. It is a 12.3-inch screen, and there is an 8-inch screen. It does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and you could actually see everything right here. It does say electric mode is 0 mile, so you can't really put it in electric mode since this Santa Fe is not charged. But the ride is good. It is nice and comfortable. Cabin noise is good. I could hear a little bit of the cars passing by, but it's not that loud. And the Santa Fe does have the blind spot monitoring system, which is nice. And I am hearing a good noise from the back, so it seems like there is some noises that are coming from the back tires into the cabin of this Santa Fe. But the ride quality is good. It is nice and comfortable. Seats are nice and comfortable, and yeah, overall very nice, quiet in here, except there is some cabin noise that is coming. Get some noises that are coming from the two wheels from the back. So not a big fan of that. I think Hyundai could have done a little bit better with the sound deadening. The steering wheel is wrapped in leather. The steering wheel does have paddle shifters, and as I said, the Santa Fe does have all the nice safety features. A nice storage place right there. This middle console honestly looks amazing. There is heated seats here in the front. You could get the limited if you want to. So there is 2 trims you could choose from, the limited or this one. But yeah guys, I'm seriously impressed with this Santa Fe, and it is showing almost to 380 miles on the gasoline engine. This Santa Fe does get 33 miles per gallon combined from the gasoline engine by itself. And as I said, you could drive this Santa Fe on EV mode if you want to. There is this button right here, and the drive modes are located right here. I love the fact that when you change it to sport mode, the gauges do change, which is nice. It does have a 6-speed automatic transmission, and it is alright. It's not the quickest, but it's not too bad. And yeah, overall ride quality is good. As I said, wind noise is not too bad. There's a good amount of road noise that is coming from the back tires, but it's not that bad. Brakes feel nice and solid, and overall I love the fact that the windows are nice and big, and seeing out of this SUV is perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and test the turning radius on this Santa Fe. Very, very good. And steering wheel is super, super light. When you put it in sport mode, it does get nice and heavy. Not really as direct. So comfort mode and sport mode, they feel about the same as in when it comes to the direction of this SUV, but when it comes to the weight, it does definitely change. So when you put it in sport mode, it does get nice and heavy. And this thing is just so smooth and so comfortable. Oh yeah, definitely it's nice and torquey, And as I said, guys, the brakes are really nice and solid. It does have an 8-inch screen, and it does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And as I told you guys, the suspension setup on this Santa Fe is good. You could definitely push it around corners with no issues. Like, let's say if I compare it to the Palisade does feel nice and solid, but I wouldn't push the Palisade around corners hard, but I would do it to this Santa Fe. And yeah, seriously, it is nice and comfortable. Seats are nice and comfortable, and overall the ride is good. And engine is nice and responsive. Transmission is okay. It could be a little bit better, but this is an SUV, so that's completely fine. So as I told you guys, this Santa Fe does have the EV mode, since it is a plug-in hybrid. And basically, when you click this button, it will toggle through 3 modes. There is automatic mode, electric mode, and hybrid mode. And you could choose whatever you want. If the SUV doesn't have charge, basically it will go to the automatic mode, or it will go to the hybrid mode. You cannot put it in electric mode if you don't have any electric miles. But when you drive this SUV, it does actually, you do get some electric miles, so that's good, of course, because it does have basically regenerative braking, so it does add more miles to the electric motor. So you could drive this Santa Fe on electric mode. So if you guys are curious about the price on this Santa Fe, it is expensive. It is $42,000, and this is not even the limited trim. This is the SEL convenience. So if you guys go with limited trim, I think it's going to be a few $1,000s more, maybe $2,000–$3,000 more. So it is definitely a quick Santa Fe, and I think this is actually the fastest Santa Fe Hyundai makes, the plug-in hybrid. But yeah, definitely $41,000 is expensive, and I really wish that they gave us a panoramic sunroof for $41,000, but they want to reserve that for the limited trim, which I completely understand. I love the trim. AC controls are going to be up here. Here is the 6-speed automatic transmission, the shift by wire. There is a storage place in the bottom, which is nice. You could literally put a whole person there. It's very, very big. And there is, of course, heated seats. And drive modes, EV mode, brake hold, hill descent, parking sensors, and a button to turn on the backup camera if you want to. It does turn off, I think, if you do more than 5 miles per hour, I think. But yeah, definitely a good SUV, but for the price, I think it's expensive. But yeah, I really like this SUV. It is nice, comfortable, spacious. There's a good amount of legroom in the back. The trunk is nice and big. Seats are nice and comfortable, and I think it is definitely a nice SUV, but for $41,000, it's kind of expensive. But I hope you guys enjoyed this POV test drive of this 2022 Hyundai Santa Fe plug-in hybrid. I would like to thank Firas and Key Hyundai in Milford, Connecticut for providing me this Santa Fe. If you guys are around and if you guys are interested, make sure to come and check them out. I'm going to go ahead and put their information, a link at the bottom of this video. And if you guys would like to see more videos like this, please subscribe. And as always, I'll see you next time.